Harry Horton reporting. It's 7:51. Now, if I were a DJ, I would be saying now, and next on Heart, Not In My Name by Collingwood. Now, that was released on November the 1st. It obviously has some resonance in the election. Who is this clown? Who is this fool? Who is the joker who claims to speak for us all? Well, the co-writers of that song, Not In My Name, are joining me in the studio, Ben Andrew and Ben Weston. Now, clearly you have lost patience with politicians of all sides, both of you. You put your frustrations in song. Why did you do that?
I think we just, from everyone we speak to and from our own personal views on what's happening at the moment in politics, we just feel like there's a massive disconnect between the people of this country and the politicians. And we just feel fed up with being told the same old things over and over again, feeling lied to, betrayed on a number of different topics. And being musicians, we just wanted to write about it and thought it'd be good to write a song.
And the other Ben, what do you hope to achieve by it?
I think the main thing for us is that we want people to hear it, and we'd like them to, hopefully enjoy it. We understand that some people will really feel it and really, really like it, and there will be others who don't like it so much. But the main thing for us is just for people to hear it, and hopefully it resonates with as many people as possible.
And often songwriters are coming from a particular political background. You're not. One of you, I think, is a Remainer, the other a Leaver. So how's it been doing this together?
Yeah, it's been interesting because we've got quite differing opinions, especially on Brexit. But I think. Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, how would you say it, Ben? It's kind of, it's...
Yeah, I mean, we might have some different views about things, but essentially we both feel the same thing in that, as Ben just said, that the connection between those at the top and everybody on the street, the voters, the electorate, it just seems to be getting bigger, and these are the guys that are supposed to know what we need. They're supposed to be speaking for us and sort of helping with our day-to-day lives, and I just don't see that connection so much.
And do you think that it's got worse in recent years, or do you think it's always been the case that politicians are seen by people as being rather remote from them?
I definitely feel like in recent times it's become a bit more of an entertainment factor, that especially election time, it become more and more like a game show almost with the TV debates and things, where people are saying things and it's 50-50 as to whether what they're saying is actually providing information or whether it's just providing entertainment for the people watching it. And lots of the discussion after the debates that were online the other day, people were saying, Corbyn clearly won that debate and Johnson clearly won that debate, and then lots of people say, well, actually, it was fairly useless. It was just entertainment. It was just them talking.
But hasn't it always been like that? I mean, we've only had debates in our general elections since 2010. I can't think there were any before that. Aren't debates a good thing? And if politicians don't perform in them, if they're either people think they're not telling the truth or whatever, then they'll vote accordingly. Surely they are useful at helping us make up our minds. Or do you think that they were just a joker and a clown? And why not ask which one was which?
I think for the first time we both feel like we don't really know who to vote for, because we don't really feel like we can trust the politicians. I think that's the thing. It's the breakdown of trust, as Ben said.
But has that trust ever been there? I mean, if you go back to the 19th century, you look at some of the political cartoons of the time, and it's exactly the same themes that we're talking about here. It's not actually a new phenomenon, this, even though it may have got worse, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think, I feel, I don't want to speak for you, but I kind of, I feel like it feels like it's got worse, that there will obviously be people who know which party they're voting for, regardless of what's said, and I can appreciate that that's people's opinion, totally fine. But for those of us that are floating voters that don't know where they want to invest their vote, it's become more confusing than ever before, I think.
Do the manifestos help with this, though? Because Labour have obviously released theirs today. I mean, whatever one thinks of a lot of the policies in it, it is a radical document. No one can say that there's no choice at this election. That I would say is a positive thing, because when I was involved in politics, I constantly hear, and this was sort of in the Blair years, you're all the same. And at that point, there was a little bit of truth to that. But now you can't say that. You've got some real choice. Isn't that a good thing?
It is a good thing, but I think the thing is that it's just whether we can trust them to deliver on their promises. For example, like with, I believe Labour announced today about free university fees. Well, we've heard that before. We heard that from the Liberal Democrats, and instead of making it free, they increased it by 200%, I think it was. So it's just, it all sounds great, and we'd love to believe it, but we don't. And I think, where are the leaders? Where are the real leaders who are going to be true to their word, who are going to stand by their promises?
Do you not feel motivated to maybe stand yourself? Because it's always all very well saying, where are the leaders? Well, sometimes the leaders are staring you in the mirror.
Yeah, I guess the difficulty with that is that, we're already following a career path, and I guess we could change, but essentially we're musicians. We're not politicians.
But there are some musicians in the House of Commons. Pete Wishart, well, he was with Runrig, wasn't he? So you don't rule it out.
No, we could always consider a career change.
But the thing is, you clearly both feel really strongly that politicians aren't doing the jobs properly. And if people feel like that, then surely, even if they don't get involved in politics at a national level, maybe at a local level.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, for me, my first passion is music. It's always been music, so I can't see myself sort of stepping away from that. But taking a more active interest in local politics might be something that I'd be interested in, definitely.
Well, if something good has come out of this interview, I hope it's that. Obviously, I hope that people go and download your song. Now, it's on iTunes. I know that because I downloaded it onto my phone myself. There's a brilliant video to go along with it if you want to find it on YouTube. So, Collingwood are the artists. Not In My Name is the song. Let's have a quick short burst of it again. You see, I would have downloaded that anyway because I just think it's a fabulous piece of music. Forget the words.
Thank you very much.
Both Bens, thank you very much indeed. That's Ben Andrew and Ben Weston. Well, we're going to have a bit of a change of gear now. Coming up in the next hour, Anne Widdicombe is going to be joining us. I wonder what she thought of Not In My Name. She'll be with me for the next hour, taking your calls, and also I'll be interviewing her a bit as well. 0345 6060 973 is the number to call if you have a question.